Hello and welcome to Reviews. As always, I'm Plume Noir, and let's see if I can do a video with both cats sitting next to me, but without jumping into frame. That'll be interesting to see if that happens, because I can already see JR making the saunter over. There he comes. Hey JR, come on, keep going, buddy. I sat here for a few minutes waiting, and then as soon as I started talking, that's when he came over. Um, and then a plane came by. This is why I don't do videos in the daytime. Anyway, took my son to see Spider-Man Far From Home today. That was really good. Okay, maybe not super good, but I enjoyed it. And I've always loved Mysterio, and I like it when they can take villains and make them real threats. And you can see, and what they did with, I really like what they did with him. And so anyway, I think this is the opening weekend, wasn't it? Didn't it come out like just before 4th of July? Or did it come out last weekend? Anyway, I don't keep track, but if you haven't seen it, go see it. I liked it. Anyway, now we're on to issue 3 of the 6-part series, DCeased, which is kind of interesting, coming on the heels that now, well, not really on the heels, but now Marvel Zombies is coming back, I guess. I read an article about that. The Walking Dead just came out, so this is the book about the not zombies. Yes, they are not zombies. They're actually suffering from the anti-life equation. I've said it before. It's a lot like Final Crisis. Final Crisis meets 28 days later. And so yeah, people not appearing in this book for the most part is what the cover is. But you know, gives you an idea what's going on. Although I'm a huge Power Girl fan, and to see her have her head taken off by her cousin, ooh, looks painful. Wonder Woman is not in this book. She appeared in the first issue, and then I think she went back to Paradise Island, and we haven't seen her, I don't think. I have to go back through the previous issues, but as we know, what happened to Batman, even though he's front and center, he didn't make it. So the book starts off with Alfred. He's got Robin, Nightwing, and Bruce all laying on the ground, apologizing that he couldn't save them. Batman did what he could to, stave off the infection by putting Mr. Freeze's suit on, but he knew he was about to turn, so he had Alfred ready with a shotgun, even though his head's still there. It's just, I don't know exactly where he shot, maybe just in the back. And so Batman even said, really, there's no saving this. We gotta take everyone that's infected out. And, that could also be the infection, the anti-life equation speaking through him, which he kind of hinted at. So Alfred takes the bat plane up and just starts blowing up the streets, launching missiles. Alfred's a badass, and he's going to do what Master Bruce said. Now we have Harley, who's on the run. Remember, she was about to meet up with the Joker and basically break up with him. And, I think Tom Taylor writes a good Harley. If we learn that from Injustice, a good alternate universe Harley. I enjoy his take on Harley, so... she finds a shotgun on the ground that the dude just dropped as he was being overwhelmed. And the Joker is catching up with her. And she tells him to back off. And as he charges, she says, "Mr. J, you were never any good for me." And just, empties the shotgun into his gut, killing him. Which is interesting because, like I said, think of it more like the 28 days later. It's not like Joker's going to get back up from being shot in the gut with a shotgun and just crawl, pull himself toward her with his arms. Basically, they're still human, can be killed by human ways. It doesn't have to be a shot to the brain. So that's kind of nice. It also makes things a little bit easier, I guess you could say, to dispatch of these not zombies, as opposed to always having to destroy the brain, which is good because there's a lot of people infected. One thing I kind of take issue with is, she realizes what she's done, and that was the most cathartic thing ever! And look at you. Years of smiling abuse, instantly reduced to a psychotherapeutic lump. Amazing! And she says, I'm coming, Red. Now, remember, I guess I'm also a big fan of classic Harley Quinn, who was basically just as crazy. And I guess this is Harley that's moved past that, but she totally was into the Joker. And it wasn't that she saw what he was doing to her as abuse, because they were both abusive in their own ways. So, but anyway, it's just a minor quibble. I know she's changed. This is not the classic Harley Quinn anymore. I guess I gotta move on. So that's when the birds of prey meet up with her. And we see that Catwoman, is that Huntress? Is that supposed to be Huntress there? And Batgirl catch up with her. And, really? I guess we're bird hunting. Now, I see this is why I like Babs as Oracle. Because as we saw in Final Crisis, she was better than this. She would not have succumbed to this. She would have pulled the plug on the internet, because that's how a Babs do. We cut back to the roof of the Daily Planet, where, Damon realizes that, his father's been killed, and John tries to console him. I love Jonathan Kent. And, the whole marriage, I like this. So, Green Arrow asks, is the kid going to be okay? Damian is his father's son, Ollie, so he'll find a way to bury it and keep going. But he just lost his dad. So, of course, Clark needs to go home and check on Ma and Pa Kent. And so he asks Ollie and Dinah to keep a eye on his family while he cleans out the Daily Planet. Because he uses his X-ray vision to look in to see who's infected, who's not infected. And he's basically trying not to think of them as friends and co-workers. He just tries to separate them. And, he goes into Perry White's office and see him standing there, which I'm guessing Perry White is not infected. I'm guessing he, barricaded himself in there, and that's, you don't see him infected, so since we don't, I'm going to guess that he's not. And basically the rest of this issue is Superman catching up with other people. He's going to go home, but first he needs to do some cleanup. We get the scene in Atlantis, where it makes things a little bit interesting. It brings up an interesting point, because the people have been getting infected by the the corrupted anti-life equation by being bitten. So it's a blood transfer. So we get Tempest and Mira, kind of trading quips. Tempest thinks he can't hold back the tide, and she's like, Garth, from now on your superhero name will be Mild Weather Event instead of Tempest. Haha. That's when they look up and they see things are getting dark. No, it's not the sun. It's the water. I always thought they were too deep to really see the sunlight. I don't really know how deep Atlantis is, but that's always kind of how I took it. And here's where we see Aquaman, as we know in the first issue or second issue. Anyway, he got infected. And it's really neat because if you look closely, you can see he's carved the A into his face. And he's tearing people up, tearing up other Atlanteans. And this is the part that I thought was interesting. As the blood is seeping through the water, Garth ends up, inhaling it, and he becomes infected. So Mira has to use her powers to just drive everyone away and make her escape. And here we have Superman, trying to rescue as many people as he can as he's on his way back to the farm, and telling Black Lightning to go to the Daily Planet. That's where he's having people regroup. And I'm going to stop it there, because the rest of the issue, next few pages, are him dealing with Ma and Pa Kent and what happened there, and I don't want to spoil that. So we get to see in one way that Alfred is stronger than Superman. And I'll just leave it at that. For a series that I was a little on the fence about, I kind of felt I like a good zombie tale. I've mentioned I'm a huge Walking Dead fan. I'm pretty bummed that comic ended. I love a good zombie tale, and because it's one of those enemies that it's zombies, robots, and Nazis. Those are really the only safe bad guys anymore. Or you can just bash them, and you know how it is. But anyway, I was a little unsure because I thought with Marvel Zombies having coming out so long ago, they had so many series. I thought it might have been played out. But I'm enjoying this. Like I said, they're not zombies. if I had one complaint about this book, is that they're really missing an opportunity, and that's Green Canary. As I said in the last video, the issue six, issue six, issue two, um, I did not know Green Canary, Black Canary with the Green Lantern power ring. I did not know this was a thing I needed. Um, but it definitely is. She looks awesome. I gotta get back to it because we only see her really for a couple panels. Um, but yeah, I mean, just basically she's only like background here. I think she gets one line in here. And maybe two lines. Asks if he needs help, and yeah, I just it's it's a waste. I really hope she really comes up more in the next three issues because especially since she has a Green Lantern power ring, you would think that she would be, you know, really good at helping clean things up, get rid of the infected. But they could always say that, oh, she's a novice. She just got the ring, an hour ago. She doesn't really know how to use it. Okay, fine. But she's been friends with Hal for so long. I'm sure she knows a thing or two about it, even if she's never used the ring. So, little bit of a waste in this book on that. Like to see more Green Canary, and that's what I'm calling her. So, but anyway, as far as this book goes, I'm going 1 o'clock. I like it. I'm enjoying this book. Um, again, I thought this was a little too late, on the zombie train, but yeah, not zombies, whatever you want to call them. But I'm still enjoying this, and we're halfway through the book, and it's not like there's going to be a huge villain at the end. Darkseid and Apocalypse have already been blown up, so it's basically just going to be cleaning out the rest of the planet, I guess, saving humanity. So I'm curious to see where the next three issues will take us. So I have six on the head, I guess, for some reason. I keep saying six. I don't know what that means. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching. I picked up that first issue of the Lois Lane comic. Just on a whim. So I think I'm going to check that out. So, as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.